Doing great. Yeah, busy summers with family and busy weeks with role playing and all that good stuff. the summer, the summer with the family. Yeah, yeah, the summer with the family. Let's see, we got swimming lessons currently going on, tennis lessons currently going on. Just completed up a 2-day trip to Springfield for my daughter's honors choir. Um, esports. My son's in esports, so. And then plus on top of all that, my work still expects me to get stuff done. So yeah, yeah, they make you run all over the. I said they make you run all over the place. Yep. You said you fill your time with before I interrupted you. Sorry. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, probably about 2 years. Yep. Yeah, almost didn't think I was gonna get in and meet you guys. I had met you. I had showed interest to playing with you guys in your group. I think you messaged me on Discord probably back or something. They went in a private message somewhere, and I don't know how long it was setting for, and so I finally went in one day, and I was like, "Oh no, this probably has been sitting here forever." And so I was like, "Well, I'll just message him and see like if they've started or what, and see if I can still get in." And luckily, you were kind enough to let me in and play it, and then that moved on to the other game too. So yeah, that's me. Yeah, I was like, "Oh, I got lost up in the cloud, on the Discord cloud. Didn't see it till just now." Yeah, I've enjoyed both games too. Yeah, try to make most of my characters for all my role playing games unique, in some way or another. That's part of the fun for it, I think. Mhm, mhm. Yep, especially as you grow as a player, and or DM or whatever. But as you grow, like when I, first started, I was, oh, I'll just be this fighter. That I mean, fighter that had no background. Yeah, had no background, no nothing. Just kind of, oh, I'm a fighter. I'm just all about hitting and rolling dice. Back then. Yeah, that's right, right. Hmm. Yeah. Yep. And then alright. I yeah. Yeah, role playing. My first bout with role playing was I had to wait 2 years. I was 8 years old. My brothers played. Uh, 2 of my brothers played with the neighbors. They're always sat in the dining room table playing, and I was 8 years old. I was running around. I want to play. I want to play. I want to play. Let me play. And they're like, "Nope, you can't play. It says you have to be 10." Yeah, so you can't play. I'm like, "Yeah," and they wouldn't let me play. They didn't want me to play, but they had to give an excuse to mom, so they said 10. So I just ran around and bugged them for 2 years until I was able to play myself with them. Finally, I got to play with them. They always just looked like they're having fun, so wanted to play with the big brothers, and be cool. So that was my introduction into it. Yeah, and that was Dungeons and Dragons, the original Dragons. So yeah, the basic box set. I still have my brother's orange die from it, the D20. It is extremely extremely worn. Oh yeah, all the paint's missing. Yeah, yeah, right. Yeah, I still whip that orange one every once in a while. The people in my group call it the player killer because it's so rounded. It rolls a lot of natural 20s. But they're like, no, not PC killer. Get it out of here. Yeah, yeah. So, dire Straits. Yeah, that's how I got introduced. Yep, that was my first game. Yep. Oh, let's see. Yeah, so it started out with D&D and then Advanced Dungeons and Dragons. I've played all of them. Well, no. I've played Dungeons and Dragons through 5th edition, everything but 4th edition because I'm wicked snot. Yep, skipped 4th edition, so I can't say I've played them all, but I've played I've played all of them but 4th edition. Yeah, and so that was through different DMs as through time. And then yeah, over the years, started out with my brother, and then a guy from I knew from high school, and then college was a different DM, and then so on. And then after college, another couple, one or two DMs there, but yeah. Um, Vampire the Masquerade, Werewolf Hunter, all of the World of Darkness stuff. I've ran some of that. I've played in some of that. Did some vampire games, some hunter campaigns. Um, yeah, did champions, superhero stuff. I played a super speedster in that in champions game. Yeah, yeah. It was a good one towards it, yeah. Yeah. My yeah. My super speedster unfortunately got taken out bef when he wasn't running yet, and what hadn't started initiative, but, got sniped from really far away. So, he he wasn't expecting it to come out from nowhere, so anyway, yeah. Yeah, once you started moving with him, it was I mean, I could hit people and run behind a building, but yeah. Yep. So it was yeah. Yep. Yeah. Couldn't catch him once the yeah. Let's see, what else did we play? We played Twilight 2000. There was a it's a military game, post-apocalyptic, supposed to be set in the future, military game. That turned into a cross into a BattleTech game where our military people picked up became a mech warrior BattleTech special forces. So we turned it in. They started piloting mechs, and that was a lot of fun. Um, I never played that one. Okay. Yeah. Um, yeah, that's cool. Yeah, Twilight 2000 seems interesting. It's been a while since I played it. I bought the new version, the Free League Publishing one, but I haven't ran it yet. Um, yeah, the mech that I turned into was a turtle mech for BattleTech. I put tons and tons of armor on his back, and he just had LRM 20s, and he would run, hit the ground, go prone, shoot all the missiles to hit the hex, and blow other mechs' legs out. That was his fighting style. Yeah, and yeah, yep. And if we have to run, I got tons of armor on my back. Let's go. Yeah. Let's see. You also played GURPS for a little bit. Universal role playing system. Yep. It, yeah, not a lot, but a little bit. Um, dabbled in Shadowrun a little bit. That was kind of a tech, uh, cyber tech system. And played in. Yeah. Uh, yeah, it's an interesting one. Lots of D6s to roll in that. Handfuls of D6s. Yeah. Yep. Yep. Let's see. Deadlands. Dabbled in that one. Um, that's a one that changed systems that used like cards instead of dice. Deck of cards. Yeah, use like a deck of cards. Like you could gamble and try to like make deals with demons and stuff. It was a very uh it was like a western style game with gambling. Weird West, yeah, Weird West. Yeah, with yep, gambling, western setting, monsters, making gambling with demons for something. Some powers or something. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it was interesting. Yeah, sure was interesting. Let's see. Alternity was my first sci-fi game, um, way before Starfinder. but that's like kind of the first sci-fi one I played. Alternity. Yeah, I played I don't know, it's just that's a good question. I don't know the answer to that. I think hmm, probably I don't know the answer. It's probably PSR maybe. I'm not sure. Wizard. No, it was a straight book. Yeah, so yeah, I can't remember. Yeah, I don't remember who put that one out. Yeah, Alternity. It was kind of cool. I made a defensive martial artist character that used zero G pistols, so that anytime we fought in zero G, he could still fire the pistols and not they wouldn't move them. They had no recoil, so he wouldn't get any pushback. They didn't do as much damage, but yeah, they were cool. Yeah, yeah, they served a purpose. Yeah. Let's DC superheroes. Played that for a little bit. That was with one of my brothers. That was pretty good. It had a well, I only dabbled in that with my brothers, like in like one shots, but yeah, it seemed fun. Um, we played high power. We just played pre-made characters. I played like Wonder Woman and tried to go up against like Superman and fight him because he was evil, and was able to punch him and knock him back through like five buildings. But then he he kicked my butt though. Yeah. Right? Yeah. Exactly. Let's see. Pathfinder. We switched over to Pathfinder, our group, second edition. We played first edition and second edition. Yep. Those are a little crunchier than fifth edition. Um, Pathfinder second edition is. Pathfinder first edition was basically 3.5, 3.75. We always called it. Uh, Yeah. Yeah, they were almost word for word. They fixed a couple little things or changed a couple little things for first Pathfinder first edition. Hmm. Yeah, yeah, right. Yeah, that's one of the reasons I picked it up as well. It was Starfinder was just fantasy Pathfinder in space, so sci-fi. So it's easy transition, like you said, in sci-fi, which is cool. I always like a good sci-fi. That yeah, yep, mhm, right. Hmm. Yeah, I never put that one. Yeah, I like crunchy games. Yeah. Yeah, I kinda like crunchy games too. That's one of the reasons, like, that's one of the reasons we switched over to Pathfinder 2nd edition instead of D&D 5th edition. It just is a little crunchier and yeah. Mhm. Yeah. Mhm. Yeah. Yep. And a lot of that's on the players to learn and go through and see what feats and skills they want. As the DM, you just look up at the monster. Okay. Yeah. 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 Love a good callback. Yeah, love a good callback too. Like I just did in the last Attack of the Swarm session when I we got surprised, but Claw doesn't get surprised because of the feat I took. Yep, combat awareness or whatever. So got to go full defense. Got to go full defense, and that's what kept him from getting hit. So, I've very much been leveling up Claw as a in Starfinder. Been leveling him up every level with feats slash skill points that he uses during prior level. So if I sneak, I let it raise sneak. If I use computers, I raise computers. If I use pilot, try to pilot, I raise piloting. Whatever, you know. And yeah, the feats we got attacked by, we got ambush, so he took ambush awareness. Yeah. 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 Yeah, and with Starfinder, it doesn't have as many restrictions like that, so it's kind of I do a yeah, so I do like in Claw's experiences. What did he learn from this going through these sessions? Oh yeah, I only have 5 skill points a level, but I put one in each. That's why, like, he's still not good at sneaking. He's still not good at perceiving, but he's better than he was. Like he, yeah, yeah. They put me in engineering when I got 5 skill points in engineering. So, um, I think I succeeded once out of 4 or 5 checks. But hey, nobody else was able there to do it. So, right? Yeah, exactly. Yeah. S Well, so like I said, initially it was my brothers having fun, and I wanted to have fun with them. So it didn't matter what they were playing. That's. And then met friends, through D&D, and we played all these other games. So I picked up all these other games as we played because was with the DM that switched a lot of games like all the time. So that's where I played a lot of them. The stuff I buy now, I buy like I said, Starfinder I bought because it's similar. It was sci-fi. It was cool. It was new. It was sci-fi, but it's Pathfinder. Um, Same type of world and things. So I bought that. I bought some of the remakes of things that I've already know just to see the differences. So like the new vampire stuff, the fifth edition of those, the hunter and werewolf. I bought all those. I bought new Twilight 2000. Um, and I bought some of the other ones I bought just because I enjoy listening to some podcasts and things like listening to Glass Cannon. So they play Delta Green. Get in the Trunk is the name of their show. Yeah. So I've got my Delta Green book and went and saw them and got it signed. So yeah. Yeah, we just went and did the VIP with them and got the book signed. So that's cool. Trying to think. But yeah, mostly I don't have like a specific genre. I like all genres. They've all been fun from the sci-fi to the fantasy to the Cthulhu to cyberpunk to superhero to I'll just like and I think that's the joy of it. It's kind of a gets you away for a little bit in a different fantasy setting and use your imagination and play different things. And yeah, yeah, definitely. Mhm. Yeah, that's what I okay. Yeah, there you go. That's kind of what I do as well. Kind of like yeah, Starfinder's a great setting. Love it. It's kind of what I got a little burnt out on fantasy. Um, not completely, but just I was running a lot of fantasy for a little bit. Just I was like, I gotta switch, so I switched to Starfinder. Then mm, yeah, yeah, definitely. Yeah, so yeah, shift. ship from fantasy to sci-fi to superhero. One of my favorite games I ever played that drew me to enjoy more role playing, I guess, over the hack and slash, was it was a homebrew of we use the D20 system, the D&D system, basically. But the DM made it a superhero game. So he took my DC superheroes book and basically rolled randomly for our powers and stuff. So he combined those DC superheroes and D&D and did a superhero game where it was like basically we didn't ever get our characters. The only thing we gave was a name and background, essentially. We didn't know what our superpowers were. We didn't know like any what our hit stats were, what our hit points were, our armor class. We didn't do nothing. Basically, it was all description and role play. Like we didn't have a character sheet in front of us. It was, what do you want to do? I want to go do this and blah blah blah. You get into a fight. It was all description of, like how you're doing, whether you need to stay in the fight or run away or, you know, yeah, it was all description based, which helped a little with role playing and got me a little more into the role play part of it instead of, yeah, what does Jake Scolari want to do? Yep. He was a basically, I ended up with basically like Colossus type powers. I could turn metal and get a defense and had super strength. So essentially a Colossus type character. But yeah, yeah, it was just interesting. Yeah, I like found out I was strong because I was in a car chase and being chased by a gang, and then I like bent the steering wheel in with my fists, as I was driving. Like so, like, oh, let me see how much weights I can lift. You know, that type of thing. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Hmm. That's right. Yeah, yeah, definitely is. And that's kind of how my new superhero game is going too. I'm running Marvel now, and it's origin story powers. So they start off as just humans. Yeah. Hmm. No, unless you just are really old, and then you start just going out. They sent the old guy out. Yep. Oh no, no, no. Yeah, yeah. That's I saw an interesting campaign start idea the other day. It was everybody brings three characters to the table. They make three characters apiece, and then it starts in the tavern. And it starts with the tavern brawl, and everybody runs all three of their characters until they have one character left, and that's the character they play to make the party. Yep, until you're down to one character. I was like, "That's a fun idea." Mhm. Yep, I've seen your list. So, man, I like a little of both. I do like a little of both. It just depends. So I've got um I play in both of yours and two of yours. I'd say both, but the two Starfinder that are online. So I'm running just started running Marvel. So I'm GMing that. I enjoy that. We still play in person at the table. So we get the whole group together. It's a different vibe, little, get together. I cook up a huge dinner or order dinner or whatever. We chat, chat for, yeah, we chat for an hour or two, catch up, everybody catches up, and then we, play for 3 or 4 hours, you know, and then everybody heads home. So yeah, I do that only once or about once a month. Um, I'm playing in another Pathfinder game that happens every other week on Thursdays. That character is interesting. His name's Min. He's a skeleton in Pathfinder Second Edition. That was a minion. That was a minion of Necromancer, and then a bunch of paladins and clerics and saints came in and attacked the dungeon, his home. He took off with his master. When his master fell, he took off with his spell book and his staff and uh, became kind of sentient of himself and, broke away and is learning necromancy but using it for good. But he thinks that paladins and clerics are bad guys because they came in and destroyed his home and, and killed everybody he knew. Uh, but yeah, so everybody keeps telling him it's dark art, but he uses it for good, So yeah, so he's an interesting character. But yeah, I really like playing, and I think I prefer probably playing more than jamming, but I like jamming for getting people together. We don't get together very often, so and hanging out and chatting. So um, yep, yeah, once a month, all in the same place, same time, and then once a year we do a late board day game weekends, 4 days of board games every year. So we all that's yeah, Labor Day. It's over Labor Day weekend. It'll be coming up pretty soon. No, we don't. We don't play. We don't play role playing. We just play board games. Yeah, yeah, it's board games. So I've got Oathsworn back there. That's kind of a role playing game, but board game. We switch off. Usually a couple of us kickstart things throughout the year and bring them, new stuff to the table. So yeah. So Yeah. Yeah, you're moved on. Yeah, it's fun. Yeah, it's definitely fun. Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely fun. I like the system. And Starfinder 2 will be great too. So, since it's building off of that. So, yeah, sure. Yep. The new the new the new Marvel game will be coming out soon. Not the new Marvel game, the new Marvel book for X-Men. That'll be coming out soon. Yeah, pretty soon. That's not a complex system at all. It's on a 3D6 system, so it's got a fantastic success, fantastic failure. It's real easy to learn. So yeah, and it focuses a lot more on the superhero role play instead of the rules. Not a lot of rules to it, but maybe for the people making their characters. But we yeah, yeah, it works out. Right. Yeah, it's awesome. But yeah, so yeah, I like probably playing a little more than running. Players, you've got a lot of work up front making your character. Maybe a little bit when you level up, but I feel like there's more work for GMing. Just takes a lot more prep work, and in my case, I feel like that. Yeah, yeah, things you have to do. Yep. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. There you go. Yep. Yeah. Sometimes I like just showing up at 8:30 and participating. But yeah. Yep. That's right. Yeah. 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 And yeah, and the reason I picked up GMing was because we didn't really have anybody else that wanted to do it at the time, and it's like, well, when we're not doing it, um, then we just don't get together as often, and some of the friends we don't see forever. So I was like, I'm gonna run a game once a month. Everybody come. Yeah, yeah, and and now the table's growing huge because everybody brings their girlfriends or whatever too. So yeah, so I'm up to Yeah, so I'm up to 10 players in my home game now. So, yeah, it's just yeah, I don't know if they're coming for the food. I don't know if they're coming for the food or the, cat beforehand, but anyway, they stay through the role playing, so it's all good. That's right. Yeah. Right. Yep. Right. Yep. And I don't pull my punches. I as a GM don't pull my punches, so they're like, "Oh, you better show up next game session because if not, he will TPK with the ones that do. We'll pay for it." Because I'm like, "Hey, I had to prep this. I had to modify this module for double the players. You got 10 players. I doubled everything. I have to go in here and modify all these maps and add all these extra enemies and do all this stuff. I have to homebrew my pre-built modules because I have so many players now. Like, if you don't show up, I'm not changing it during mid game. I'm just gonna kill you guys. Sorry, you're gonna make new characters." Yeah. Right. Yeah. Basically. Yeah. Not casting a spell for reflective armor. Not looking at his feats. Yep. Right. That's right. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Yeah, I used to do that too. I would be like, "Oh, those 2 players didn't show up. Well, they're fighting these other groups," and I would modify it for the people that didn't show up. But then it got more I'm like, "Man, I'm dealing with 10 people here. You better show up, bro." Yep. Don't make me whip out my player killer or orange die either. Yeah. That's right. Yeah. Yep. That's what I like about the group. It's, a little pepper. Yeah. Right. Yeah, I try to do a little more role playing, and get into that. Like I said, that one game really helped me with that. So, uh, mhm, yeah, yeah, like a good mix. Like a good mix. Yeah, yep, same. It just that's just growing as a player. I think. Feel like the more you grow, you just grow as a player. And you got some newer people. Yeah. Hmm. Yeah. And I always try to make I try to make unique characters, like as unique as I can for role playing purposes. I had a I had a character. It was an 8-year-old girl. Her name was Dez, and she had a brother named Troy. And when she first learned her magic powers, she accidentally burned her brother alive. You know, and so she picked up schizophrenia and took on her brother's personality. And every so often, like if she got hurt, like her brother would come out. So she was a wizard, sorcerer, but then he was a fighter. So I was taking sorcerer, and then next level I take fighter level, and then sorcerer and fighter level. But I would only use like when she would get basically like half hit points. Yeah, where she would get down to like half her hit points or something, then he would come in and he would had his little tagline. He'd be like, "Never fear, Destroy is here." So he was the destroyer, destroy, just from the way he said it. And then he would pull out a big maul. This little 8-year-old girl pull out a big maul off of her back and start fighting with it. It's like, yeah, yeah, it's a very interesting character. And then all the players would start try to talk to him and or her, and she had no knowledge of him, and he so they would try to talk. Well, yeah, and then they would try to talk to her later, and she'd be like, "I don't know what you're talking about." Like it was a fun character to play. But yeah, but yeah, it's been great playing in your groups, and I appreciate you as a GM and enjoy all of your games I've been, and yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, yeah. hey, I'm a jerk because I don't want to do extra work after they're there. So that's what I'm doing. I, definitely. Yeah. I'm I yeah, I'm not. I'm when I GM I can make it brutally challenging. Brutally challenging. I think in our last in my last well, in the last Starfinder campaign I ran, I made the very end guy that had been chasing them throughout the whole session a general and a special ops team. And they went up against them and I mean they lost half the party fighting this general and this guys. So half the players died in that final fight and half of them lived. So yeah. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Yeah, it makes for get some good stories too. Yeah. Right. Yeah. And in my game, the one that survived uh ascended to become the new Triune. So one of the players got to become a god. So there you go. Yeah. 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 Yeah, that's cool when that happens. Yeah, they were an elf or something. Or whatever. Yep. You're welcome. Yeah. Good times. All the time. Bye.